Stephanie here, coffee drinker, book lover, and reviewer of many things, and today we are doing a spoiler. Okay, first, let's do the shirt check. So this shirt is actually getting a little small, but I can't help it. I love it so. When in doubt, go to the library. Hermione Granger. Um, if you're new to this channel, you probably don't know, but I am a book lover. Probably have enough books for a small library. Um, my coffee today is Tim Horton, and it is tasty. I can leave a link for it in the description. And my nail polish is still Hollow Taco's gold play button. For those of you who are coming back from my spoiler and saw my video earlier this week. So, this book. I love almost every chapter of this book, and, I didn't want to spoil the whole book for you. We would be here for a while. So, I decided that I would pick a handful of chapters and geek out about why I loved them. And, yeah, so if you're looking at my cover here and you're like, "Oh, you're so mean to your books." Um, Normally, I take the covers off, the little when it has these papery things, I take them off, and then I set them so I don't lose them or so my toddler doesn't get them. But when I got this book, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna start reading this." I took the cover and I put it on top of the TV, um, what's it called? Uh, not a TV, it's not a TV, it's the, entertainment center. There we go. And so it's above my head because I'm short, and forgot it was there, and I had gotten something for my toddler, but she can't play with it unless we're with her, and I just threw that up there too, and it went to this book cover, and so it's a little wrinkly. So poor Tom, he's got a wrinkle across his face here. Um, and then if you look, it's pointy. Um, Look how great this. Love it. I love the colors. I love Tom. Okay. I'm gonna take this off. This is a spoiler. Spoilers. So if you don't want the spoilers for this book, you don't want to know what's inside until you read it yourself, get off of this video and come back later. Save this video for after you read the book. I don't want to ruin the book for anyone. Okay? So leave, but come back later because I want you here, but I don't want to spoil the book. Okay? Alright, if you're still here, I warned you. So, let me just. I should have taken notes. I should have put my little magnets in to hold place of the ones I was gonna spoil. I like that the little. My goodness, what's it called? This day's gonna be a day. Um, at the beginning of the book, whenever the author writes a little something meaningful in the front of the book. Well, this one says, I dedicate this uh, I got this. I dedicate this book to the Muggles who got me here. How sweet is that? And now that we're in the spoiler section, I can let you see the titles. I love these. I love all the names that he puts on here. Um, I think one of my favorite chapters is this one here. The Magic in the Making, or James Bond and the Ginger Whiskers. So he talks about in this he was a typical boy, and he was obsessed with James Bond at one point during this time. And the movie set he was on took him down this hall going past where they were filming one of the James Bond films. I can't remember now. I don't want to look it up. And he, he would see James Bond and be like, um, yeah. And if you didn't know, he was in The Borrowers, and I have seen The Borrowers, forever since it came out. Watched it probably 8 times since it came out, and my brain never said, "Hey, look, that's the same boy who played Malfoy." My brain never made the connection, and I know why. It's because in The Borrowers, he has red hair. But my brain did make the connection of, oh my gosh, I lost his name. The guy who plays Mr. Weasley played in The Borrowers also, and I believe did Maggie Smith also play in that? Maybe no, I don't think she was in that also. Anyway, but, my brain made the connection of him. I was like, "Oh, yeah, look, it's the same guy." But I never made the connection of Felton being both of these characters, and, when I read this, I was like, "Nah," and so I had to go and actually look it up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well then," and let's go to this next section, and I'm gonna focus. Please? Please focus. There we go. I'm gonna just hold this here for a second so you can read it. Mhm. And my arms are getting tired, so I'm pulling it back down. Um, I hope if you didn't get to read all of that, you can pause it. And then play whenever you're done reading. So, my next one that I'm gonna talk to because I like I said, I love this whole book. I could talk I probably, spoiled this whole book for my husband. He's gonna be reading this book too because he's doing the book challenge, and I kept going I kept laughing and be like, "Oh my gosh, la 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 la," and he'd be like, "Mhm." He loves me. Um, so the chapter 7 is The Potter Auditions, or When Draco Met Hermione. So, they had all these kids in this room, and they had done some recording stuff and asking the kids questions, and then they were trying to see how the kids would react without them, get a sense of their, actual character instead of, who they were trying to pretend to be, so because I don't know if you actually, some of you were probably not even born, but the ones of you who were born, um, when they announced that Harry Potter was gonna be made into a movie, it was big. Everyone wanted to audition, everyone wanted to, be Hermione and wanted to be Harry Potter, and, so the directors and all of them, the movie people, told the kids, "Y'all go ahead and just mingle, we're gonna go outside and talk, we're not recording anymore." And Emma Watson, at, I believe, 9, was standing around and looking at the big there were they st the movie people left the big speaker things in the room, and she said, "I wonder what those are." And Tom's reaction was to be like, they're actually recording us," and, like, walks away. And that was the first time he met Emma Watson without them knowing each other, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons he got the part. Um, and just so you know, because a lot of people don't know this, Peeves actually had an actor and actually recorded a whole bunch of stuff for the first movie, and they cut it all. They cut Peeves out of the movies, and I'm very sad about that because I liked Peeves. Um, Tom's grandfather played a teacher, but not one that was, like, an important that sounds mean. He wasn't, like, one of the professors that talked on the talked to the kids. He was just at the table off to the side. So you can actually see him, I think, in 2 of the films. He was, I guess, a stand-in, an extra. But the story behind that was pretty cool. I liked that one because, yeah, Tom's grandpa was taking him for, because they had obviously, the kids had to have chaperones, and, his grandpa was like, "Yeah, I'll take him." And they were walking around, and Chris Columbus was coming around a different direction, and they kinda what went started going past each other, and Chris was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. Have you read the Harry Potter books?" To Tom's grandpa, and his grandpa was like, "Yeah, actually, I have. I really love all the arts, and I'm a big supporter of them." And he goes, "You'd make a good wizard. You you wanna be a stand-in? You wanna be an extra? You wanna be a wizard?" And he was like, "Okay." And his grandpa got the part of a teacher who just gets to sit at the big table in the front. I was like, "That's cool." Uh, Trying not to tell the whole I'm just like, "Skip around. Don't read the whole book to them. Don't spoil everything." Oh my gosh, I loved it all. Um, Tom Felton is the reason why they weren't allowed to have hot chocolate on set. Um, yeah. I'm not gonna tell you why, but it's pretty funny. And oh man. Okay. In the scene when they, uh, they did their first Quidditch lesson, whenever, up, they were trying to get their brooms. Um, oh my gosh, I lost her name too. Oh man, I am losing things today. My brain needs to I need more coffee, I guess. Um, the actress that plays the teacher, Madam Hooch, I don't remember her name. And Tom, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna skip over it. 'Cause if I keep thinking about it, it's gonna make my head hurt. Uh, Both of them had a lot of hair products in their hair to because hers has to be spiky and his has to be slicked back. And, the field where they were filming was a very nice field. It had some flowers, it had some bushes. Nice field. Well, there was also a lot of wasps, and the wasps were attracted to their hair products, so they kept, "Ugh," and Tom is very afraid of the wasps, and she gave him advice on how to stay in character and not be afraid of the wasp that's coming towards him because, whenever it's like the wasp can sense the fear, and so they start getting agitated, and then more of them come over. So, he talks about how in the film, he looks like, "Nothing can bother me, Malfoy," but every time they said cut, he was like, "Ah!" And I thought that was fun. Also, they weren't supposed to do anything dangerous. This one this one is pretty funny. So, one of the guys, I think it was the one who played, Lee, Lee Thomas. Um, yeah. Uh-huh, names, just their names are not working today, okay. Um, in between filming and, of course, their lessons, the kids were told, they were supposed to mingle, they're supposed to be kids, and, he had s okay, Tom smuggled in a skateboard, and him and the person who plays Lee Thomas decided that they were gonna try to skateboard down the great big hill. Yep, yep, uh-huh. That sounds super safe, right? Um, I'm not gonna tell you about Hermione or the chicken and the duck. And honestly, if you still think that they have feelings for each other, I don't know. I honestly think that they would make a cute couple. Like, they're so adorable. But I also know that they have both expressed that they're not romantically interested in each other, and I think that the world needs to leave it alone. I'm, like, totally team Hermione, okay, I see it. Emma Watson and Tom, they would make a cute couple. But if they decide to be a couple in the future, okay, fine. But I think we need to let them be friends because guys and girls can be friends without doing other things. It's it's fine. Just move on, people. Move on. Let them have their life. Um, so there is um, they do a charity thing. Some of the people from Harry Potter get together and they play a game of, oh my gosh, what is it called? Yep, I'm sorry. There's a picture of it. Mm, what is that game? No, I thought the game was written next to the picture. It's not. Nope. Okay. Oh, it's like a cross between Quidditch and cricket. I can't remember what they called it, but this mm, 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 there. This guy was oh, a stunt double for both Tom and Harry. And so in some of the films, he was, doing all sorts of stuff. Well, in one of the films, he got really badly hurt and he is now paralyzed from the waist down. and it opened you know, their older teenagers by the time this happened, and so, Daniel Radcliffe and Tom and what is his name? Matt Matt yeah. Okay, I should have just waited to film this till later. Um, mm, the one that plays Neville. Anyway, so they go in, they do this charity thing, and they raise money for the company that helped the stunt double, which I can't remember his name right now either. And, not just him, obviously, but for, like, the whole like, everyone else who has, disabilities, and I think it's really sweet. And then, Tom talks about how, um I mean, if you've watched the behind the scenes of all of the movies, like I have a few times, um, I might have been a bit obsessed, and if I can find it, I will post a picture of my bedroom somewhere up here from when I was a teenager or junior high student. I was obsessed. Green Day and, Harry Potter were my top 2 favorite things in the whole entire world, and if you got me anything, those 2 things, was, like, so excited. Anyway, so Tom talks about how, the guy who plays his dad, Mr. Malfoy, he still calls him dad now, um, how okay, he talks about how there are different types of actors. There are the ones that are very like, okay, the director says quiet on set and I gotta get in character. Okay. Take a moment. And when rolling comes on, they are their character. And then there are the ones that they have to get into character beforehand. So they have to kind of, okay, my scene is coming. I'm supposed to be doing this scene at 1 o'clock. I got to start, getting in character by 12, by noon. And then I can do my part the way I'm supposed to. And then there were people like Jason, I don't remember his last name, the guy who played Tom's dad, who will be in the middle of telling this great knock knock joke kind of story. And it's like quiet on set and he just rolling, and then he is the character. And he said it actually scared him the first time he had to act with this guy because, like, he was just this sweet man who was, "Oh, and then this happened, and ooh, 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 and yeah, I'm a happy-go-lucky person," and then he's like, "Mal or Draco," And, the scene, if you watch in the 2nd movie, when, uh, Malfoy gets his hand smacked by his dad's cane, and the dad's like, "Don't touch things that aren't yours." I don't know if y'all remember that. Um, that scene actually left a mark on Tom's hand, and, he held back his tears because he had to be in character, and as soon as they said cut, the guy who plays his dad was like, "Oh my gosh, did I actually get your hand? Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me help you." Because, when you're in character, you're trying to play that role, and then you kinda sometimes, Draco's dad is abusive, so he would hit his kid. I also love not in the book, but, oh, maybe it is in the book. I don't remember for sure, but, I knew about this before. Um, the scene with where Dobby or he where Mr. Malfoy, like, is, like, kicking Dobby down the stairs, um, they he just did that. That wasn't scripted, and there someone was like, "Cut, can we wipe the stairs so he doesn't slip again?" And he's like, "Oh, no, no, I didn't slip. I was kicking Dobby down the stairs." And they were like, "Oh, yeah, that's good, okay." And then they were like, "Okay, let's take it back," and so he did it again, and then he does his cane like that, like, and hits Dobby with it, and he goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," and they're like, "Cut, cut, what was that?" "I hit him." Like, he also says that, the dad character, he was always the guy who played his dad was always trying to get more lines, and, they always did um, the Make-A-Wish charity where the kids can come in and, like, meet the people and all that stuff. Um, one kid brought his Harry Potter book and was like, "Well, will you sign this?" I was, like, so excited to meet, the guy who plays Malfoy's dad, Lucius Malfoy, and, so, he picks up the book to the page that the kid had turned to, and it has Lucius Malfoy in it, and he goes, "I say this in the book, hold on," and he, like, takes the kid's book over to the directors and is like, "Look, I should say more," and they're like politely, they were like, "Yes, we know what's in the book, but we don't want the book and the movie to be exactly the same, and so let's try it with the script you were given first." And, of course, he signed the kid's book and gave it back to him, but, I always thought that was pretty funny. Um, and then this is the last page of the there we go, of the, titles, and, after reading this, I kind of wanna get Alan Rickman's book also, because more insight to him would be awesome. He was a great actor. Okay, I hope y'all had time to read all of that. If not, pause it, and then y'all can keep going later. Um, and for those of you who don't know, Tom Felton and Daniel Radcliffe were friends also, and they had a lot like, they saw that their characters had more in common than the movies let on. Like, if you read the book, you know that Harry came from an abusive family, and Tom or Draco came from an abusive family too, but he had his mom who was more softer to him. Um, and I like that they, I like that they're friends off film. I don't know, to me, I'm like, I think that you kinda have to be if you're with someone, like, uh, along that long, you have to be friends with them. I also like that he Tom talks about how he made it a point to, talk with the hairdressers and the camera crew and the people who brought in the food and oops, sorry, I touched the mic. I talk with my hands, I gotta stop that. Um, or like he made it a point to interact with these people because, they're your family when you're not with your family. Um, he also talks about how his life would be a lot more different if he was Emma, Rupert, or Daniel because They were on set more. They were the big characters of the film. Everyone knew them, everyone knew their faces. They couldn't even, like, step outside to go to the grocery store without getting noticed. And he got away with it for the most part. He said in high school, mostly this I think this is mostly his own fault, but, and I'm sure he knows it. But because of the way he acted and, like, bulked up to the teachers, yeah, that's a nice way to put it. Um, some of the people that he went to school with, because he went to a public school in high school and a private school before that, or junior high, I don't remember what year. Anyway, but because of his attitude and because, some of the time he would be on set and he'd have tutors, and then sometimes he would be at home and going to public school, and he got bullied some. W this book is okay, I don't know how to talk about it. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna ruin any more of the chapters. Oh, I don't recommend you give this to your 13-year-old, only because he talks about how early he got into smoking. Yeah. And, we all know that their lives were a little stressful, all of the child actors, and that some of them didn't make it through the whole films, one of his friends being them. And he talks about that a little bit about if you don't know what I'm talking about, uh, one of his goons, I think it was Crab, I think it was the guy who played Crab got into some bad stuff, and they didn't pick him up for the last movie, which is why he wasn't in the last movie, even though he was in the last book. Um, Tom also talks about, recreational smoking. I think you know what I'm getting at. Um, I don't know I don't know how else to say that because I don't wanna get flagged for inappropriate talk, which is also why I didn't read all of the titles to you. Um, but there's that. Um, he talks about how with several of the older cast members, they would step out and, get fresh air, and he even says it that way in the book, and, yeah. Uh I think it'd be interesting to that sounds weird to say. I think it would be interesting to see, Dumbledore and well, no, I don't think it was Dumbledore. Yeah, it was the last Dumbledore and Malfoy outside with a cigarette and a cup of tea. Um, I love that he goes through and talks about the older actors treating the younger actors like little adults because I think that's important, uh, especially to the kid to not feel like, "Oh, you're just a kid. I'm in charge here because I'm the adult." Um, I used to work with kids, and I know that you get better results if you, like, treat them like they can handle something instead of being like, "Oh, you can't do this, I'll do it." Or straight up telling them what to do always doesn't always work. Uh, this book, I recommend it. I've gone on and on for, like, 30 minutes now, and I'm sorry that I love this book so much that I just wanna tell you the whole book, and I wanna tell you about how he met his girlfriend, and I wanna tell you about, both the Dumbledores and Alan Rickman and, um, Robbie Coltrane and Maggie Smith and all of the times that I laughed in this book, but we would be here for probably 9 hours, because I would get sidetracked and start talking about other stuff. And, did you read this book? Now that I've told you a few of the spoilers, are you gonna go read this book? I recommend it. I l there sometimes okay, this is not to do with the Tom Felton book, but sometimes when you get a book that's, I put the cover, that is a biography, they're boring. But then there are some, like the Tom Felton one that you it's the way they write is just interesting. I also think that, the one that Anna Kendrick wrote was really good too. I don't remember what it was called. I'll put it in the description once I look it up because I have the book on my bookshelf out there, and I read it twice, and I was like, "This book is awesome." Um, yeah. So 2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up, 4 thumbs up. I don't have that many thumbs, but yes, this book was good, and this coffee is good. I'm gonna drink some more. So, like, subscribe, and comment. I really like when people comment. I will do my best to comment back as soon as I can, because life is always moving, and, I will continue to try to make some videos. The next book that I'm what is the next book that I'm reading? Um, Let me see if I can find my list real fast. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can find my husband's list. I'm in the office. His is in the office. Okay, the book that I am reading right now, or I'm listening to, so that's gonna be the next one that I, um, review and then spoil, is called These Things Hidden by Heather oh, German name. Gunderkoff? Gunderkoff? So, I started that one. Trigger warning for that. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Um, yeah, I mean, it's very well written, but still, I had to stop after listening to the first few chapters. I was like I just cried. I was like, um, back to happy, back to happy. Uh-huh. Comment below and tell me what you think, and click my link if you need the book or if you want some coffee. I will see you on my next video. Bye.